Hello, everybody. Welcome to Horror Stories with Cassidy. Because I said I was going to do this, and now I am. As you can see, I am indeed Cassidy. It's really dark. It's late at night. And I thought this would be fun. Now, I'm not going to be, reading a full horror story because I don't feel like it right now. However, I found a bunch of amazing two-sentence horror stories, which are sometimes the scariest. So with all due respect, let us continue. Oh, and one last thing. I am required to say that these are all created that all the rights to these stories go to their original creators. Now, with all due respect, let us continue. The doctors told the amputee he might experience a phantom limb from time to time. Nobody prepared him for the moments, though, when he felt cold fingers brush upon his phantom hand. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear. It's so dark all the time. If I had known it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. Don't be scared of monsters. Just look for them. Look to your left. Look to your right. Under your bed. Behind your dresser. In your closet. And never look up. She hates being seen. I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror instead. They celebrated the first successful cryogenic freezing. He had no way of letting them know that he was still conscious. She wondered why she was casting two shadows. After all, there was only a single light bulb. It sat on my shelf with thoughtless porcelain eyes and the prettiest pink doll dress I could find. Why did she have to be born still? The grinning face stared back at me in the darkness behind my bedroom window. I live on the 14th floor. This is a picture of my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. My girlfriend asked, why was I breathing so heavily? I wasn't. Ooh, this is a fun one. Working the night shift alone tonight. There's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room I began to hear popping. You wake up. She doesn't. You get home, tired after a long day's work, and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit for her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. You start to drift off into a comfortable sleep when you hear your name being whispered. You live alone. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there's an intruder in the house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. You're laying in bed with your feet dangling out of the covers. You feel a hand grab your feet. The officer finally got back to me. The call was coming from inside the house. I was having a pleasant dream and something that sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering my coffin over my own screams. The last man on earth sat alone in a room. There was knocking at the door. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend, cradling our child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. You hear your mom calling you into the kitchen. As you're heading down the stairs, you hear a whisper from the car. How's it saying? Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too. Officer, I just looked away for 1 second, and my baby was gone, I sobbed helplessly. That's better. I sounded much more convincing this time. That was a smile as I finally picked up the phone to call the police. I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. Nurse's note. Born, 7 pounds, 10 ounces, 18 inches long, 32 fully formed teeth, silent, always smiling. She went upstairs to check on her sleeping toddler. The window was open and the bed was empty. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. I found a dead body in my trunk today, which is strange, because I remember putting 2 in there yesterday. You hear a scream across the hallway, but your eyes won't open, and you can't move. Being the first to respond to a fatal car accident is always the most traumatic thing I see as a police officer. But today, when the crushed body of a little dead child boy strapped in his car seat opened his eyes and giggled at me when I tried to peel him out of the wreckage, I immediately knew today would be the last day on the force. I always thought my cat had a startling problem. She always seemed fixated on my face. Till one day I realized, okay, I'm back. Because of a whole camera issue thing, I had to stop there. But I'm going to read a couple more stories, and then there's one of my own which I wish to share with you that one of my friends told me. I always wondered why my cat cried when I left her alone at night. The night after we buried her, I woke with the sensation of someone stroking my hair in a rough voice, close to my ear, whispering, "Good kitty." "I can't sleep," she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. And the last one that I've actually heard myself in real life is, The sound of a child's laughter is a beautiful thing. Unless it's 12 a.m., you're home alone, and you don't have a baby. I hope you enjoyed. Sleep tight.